And I have the coolest reflection on my hair right now. The trees behind me are changing colors red and purple in my yard, and it's bouncing off of my mirror, and it's showing my hair more reddish today. It's so cool. I did not dye my hair red, by the way. So if you see that, I have a nice reflection. It's like the craziest thing. It's like reflecting off of the window from the trees, and with the way the sun's angled right now, it literally, I think it's pretty good. It's the coolest thing. I looked at it, I'm like, holy shit, my hair's. I used to dye it burgundy, so it was like, it was kind of like a blast to my 20s. But anyhow, good morning. We're starting the start of a brand new week here. A lot of stuff to go over. I'm very happy with the way not only the weekend went, but with the way we're following a pretty direct agenda here. Gather a nice rise up Sunday night into early AM, make everybody think we're going to the next level, knowing we have this gap and we may still go up there. Like, don't get me wrong. We may still go up there. It's a good indicator that we fell below 262, but I also feel bad because, and I want to wait to see if he's in here, but I did not make the correlation to the person in Telegram, to the person on YouTube, that this is the person. And I have all these great conversations on YouTube, and I did not realize until it clicked in my brain yesterday, and I feel so bad about it. And maybe I'm still wrong and it's not clicking properly, but I'm pretty sure, and it took me a long time for some reason, because I so many people follow, so many people that I have conversations with, and I'm like, I can't believe that it took me this long for my brain to go, hey, asshole, this is exactly who you always talk to on YouTube, Scotty Trades, and we have these great conversations. And I don't know if he's in here this morning, but I feel like a complete douchebag because I did not correlate that MQ is freaking Scotty Trades until last night in my brain. So I feel like an ass. So if you're watching Scotty Trades or MQ, I'm sorry. For some reason, my brain did not correlate that was Scotty Trades, and it irritates me because we have such good conversations. And I'm talking to MQ like he's a different person. I haven't had that closer bond yet with him because I've been trying to figure out who he and then I realized it's Scotty Trades. And it's like, oh my God. Like, and I have such great conversations. He's so smart in the chat. So if anybody talks to him this morning, just tell him I was like, I'm not guilty, but I felt bad. I feel generally bad. Like my heart aches that I didn't realize that sooner. So my apologies, Scotty. Oh, what time did we miss? What time missed? But anyhow, Dan Marginow and Mrs. Scott, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. John Hall, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for your second month with the Dusty House Crypto News. 1970 Legend and Crypto Cooter, thanks for being very trusted mods in here. And Crypto Cooter in the Telegram. Actually makes me a little sad for some reason. Crypto Cooter, thank you for being in town for 6+ months as well with the XRP Predictor. And 1970 Legend, a resident Buckeye, and at least Michigan. Not so impressively, but at least we beat Michigan State and yada, yada, yada. We look like ass. If we beat Ohio State this year, it's simply because Ryan Day, for whatever reason, we're his kryptonite. Other than that, there is no way that we're going to beat them. I said that last year, except I said we would win just because we're in his head. And I'm saying it again this year. Until we lose, we're in his head. But I digress. In 1970 Legend, I mean, I don't know who's going to beat you. Yeah, I don't know who's going to beat you. I'm going to have to watch it, the back-to-back champions. Unless we beat you, and you're probably still going to win the championship. It don't even matter if we beat you, because then you'll just beat us in the playoff. Ooh, that would suck. Anyhow, Mark Caston, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So Badge, along with Glenn Barlow. Anna, good morning, love. I'm so glad to see you back in here. Says, hello, Tom. Hello, everyone. I hope XRP follows Tom's plan. I'm hoping so, too, because I don't want it to go to 272 first. Or make these higher pushes up, because then we just have to come back down. It's just like that gap at $1.50 we finally filled But even though we kept rising higher and higher, we knew it was there, and it was like, all right, it's going to happen. And I know they only fill like 98% of the time or whatever. But certain scenarios present 100% possibility that they're going to fill. These scenarios building around us represents a 100%. Like a lot of people get confused, the FVGs, the fair value gaps, with the CME gaps. I don't talk FVG gaps a lot if you've noticed. I care more about these CME gaps. Over time, yeah, I have them in my rear view. But I know that some of the gaps I talk about are fair value ones. But the CME gaps, I look very closely at because those typically always fill in one way or another. After all, you got to get the trading algorithms back. You don't want gaps on the chart. But this gives me a weird feeling like, I know we have the gap. I know we have this good news coming out supposedly next week. But what if we did go up this week? What if before the rate cut we go up to 272 and then they say it's 1/4 of a basis point? And then the whole market's like, oh, son of a fucking... And it just dives. I'll let you ponder that. Good morning. 10:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, October 27th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Mr. Barlow, welcome in. Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So batch from the great, never visited, but I imagine fantastically glorious land in England. Welcome in, friend. D King, good morning. Yes, let's get the bread. Sometimes getting the bread is sitting there and watching and seeing what the next move is, because we knew the move from 239 was the 265. Now we've got two issues. It's not just the fair value gap at 254. I mean the Chicago Mercantile Exchange gap. I'm sorry, the CME gap. It's also the fact we've never back tested this pattern, so even if we go to 251, it probably would just come right past there and come to about 244-ish. But it could bounce off there, but we've never back tested this. That's another problem. And if this is a real flag that's set up here, and I know we can look at it from farther out, but I'm looking at it micro to macro. And in the macro, I still think that's a broadening wedge, because that's what we predicted before the drop. So I'm not going to change that at all. I can't help that some charts were oversensitive, like the Binance chart and fell to 82 cents. Some fell to, on average, I respect the $1.16, but I'm certainly not going to put this all the way down there because that's an overzealous pull down. And then it just pulled back up. So you just keep it in rhythm, which means if we break back up in reality, we could get up to 381 and higher just by coming back up and retesting this wedge. But as we all know, they only need 2 hits on each side in a broadening wedge, so it's overextended already. The next move to either side is probably going to be the break point. If it goes up, it's going to 539 to 549 to 639-ish. That's my target for this bull market, and everybody's like, oh, it's only going to 639. That's not what everybody was saying when it was at 34 cents when I said it. Everybody's like, oh, you're out of your fucking mind. It ain't going up 20x or 19x. Now everybody's like, what? It can only go up 1.5. It's like, you got to put it in perspective. We started at 28 freaking cents. So it's like when Dave Ramsey says you're freaking broke. You don't need to take out more credit and buy cars with loans. It's the same thing here. You don't need to be taking and buying more freaking XRP here when the daily's at 100. And couple that with, in the stochastic, we're at 100.66. Couple that with the fact we've got the CME. This is so freaking out of whack. It drives my head up the wall. But the weekly also will make you fucking put your head through the wall, because you're supposed to buy it when it's extremely oversold. But look what happened. Now it's coming back up, which means now we're going to have a back test on the trend line, right? Remember this. Once you break from bearish into a more bullish fashion, you are always going to back test the new trend line as support instead of it being resistance. All the way down. Look. Everybody's like, oh my God, gold, it's below 4,000. What did I say last week? You could take some profit. is remember taxes, and then you can just buy it back. I put the targets out. Everybody's going to panic. And what did I say? I'm going to eat. I have $18,000 to the side. And that was nothing more than like on B2 Gold, 3,500 shares, knocking at the 3222. Hecla Mining having 1,500 shares and knocking at the 1,222. That's all I did. I knocked down on a few things and got out of the way of some things just for the short term. Like I said with Dolly Varden, I was just selling it until it goes down to the lower level. But yeah, I just did that. Now I've got that money to the side that I think I'm going to put. I'm trying to think of this because I pulled out of Silvercorp because of all of their financing crap they did. I talked about this before. I just stated my basics. I'm trying to figure out if I'm probably going to go 4 and 4 on those two. So I'm going to have 10,000 for the oil sector. That's the only reason I took it out. I want to build into the oil sector as I've been talking about, and I've got to have like 10K to do it. So, and I've still got a very large amount in my, a very large amount in mining stocks. But yeah, I don't know what it's down today. Let's see. But I think we're going to have a crazy bounce back. Crazy bounce back. But like I'm very 1,000 Fortuna, more than 1,000. 1222 in Hecla. I believe it's the same in First Majestic. Pan America, I didn't touch any of it. B2 Gold didn't touch any of it. Oh yeah, I did. I went from 3,500 to 3,222. Barrett didn't touch any of it. Very small touch of anything. So I just feel, I don't know if anybody else feels it, but do you feel the oil play that's coming in 26? Oh my God. Oh, it's the play that's going to knock our dicks to the floor, just like commodities did in 25. And 26 is going to be great for mining stocks too, don't get me wrong. But I really think that oil is going to knock our socks off again. And I think what's going to be cool is at the same time, we're probably going to be making a shitload in crypto. But Dolly Varden, remember the back test in the weekly? We've talked about it. From when they announced the common shares. The first back test, 396. If we don't hold that, we come back into the pattern, and that's when you could play all the way down. But the weekly is going to be it's going to get down to oversold very quickly. So under $4, and especially the closer to 380 you get, is where I would probably, in my own opinion, I'm probably going to buy that back somewhere around 380. Unless it shows me for some reason it's going to go a lot deeper, which I doubt it. But yeah, once it gets to this back, it's even close. I would like to get it under $4 is my goal. 1,000 shares. Silvercorp Mining, because everybody's going to ask, where's your buyback? I've already talked about it. First uptrend area where I was looking was here, 513. Because the weekly is going to have to condense in the stochastic. It's oversensitive. It's oversold. Or was overbought very badly. Some of them I'm not willing to do it. Like with Hecla and all of them. Yeah, I took a couple hundred shares because I overbought. I only wanted 1,000 shares and I bought 1,500 and whatever because it stayed so cheap. Kept 1222. Fortuna, I wanted 1,000. I ended up overextending into like 15 something and I dropped it to 1222. First Majestic wanted 1,000, overextended, dropped it to, I believe it was 1222. B2 Gold wanted 2,000, bought 3,500, dropped it to 3222 because I want to keep them. You know, it's those kind of things. That's how I take profit without even looking like I touched my position. I think crude's going to have a big breakdown again. I feel it. It always has happened historically, but however, that's an interesting pattern. I'm glad the weekly bounced out and it hasn't retested. So I believe it's going to retest probably back and oversold. Like we'll find ourselves like the weekly. And I know I'm going through all this bullshit to some of you, but to some of you who are newer or older, I always tell you, don't judge me just based on crypto. Judge the overall because you can see that the charting translates from one market to the other. And it's not just the charting. You got to have the right feeling. So why do I talk about cycles? It's simply this. I like to be in the right when everybody's in the wrong and the wrong when everybody's in the right. So, because then I'm making money. So, XRP, why sold 75% of my crypto and turned focus to gold and silver mining stocks. That was 10 months ago. Might as well say, why I'm turning my focus from mining stocks back to crypto. Remember, it took 2 or 3 months for it to play out and start going in the direction that we thought. But it's exactly why. We got way overextended now in gold and silver, which is what we need. The commodities overextended. I took what I needed. 18,000, and it's not all profit because you've got your bottom line you take back in principal, but I still have $35,000 in profit as of, well, probably not 35 now, probably 30, but I don't mind this resettling now. Remember, Hecla, even with all these drops, when we were buying it, it was at $4. Now it's at 12. Fortuna was at just about 4. It's at almost 8. First Majestic was 4 something. It's at 12. Pan America was at 18.22. It's at 34. B2 Gold's at 4.92. It was at 2.30, 2.60, 2.8. You get the picture. Barrett was at 14. It's at 31. And if you wanted to buy more higher, congrats, you can. Silvercorp Mining, on the other hand, was at like 5.75 or whatever. I believe when we started, or no, it might have been 4.75. Yeah, I think it was 4.75. Dolly Varden was only at like 3.75. So these I expected, because of all those common shares, to at least have a harsh retest. They're all going to, but I think it's playing perfectly. Gold and silver's not done. We needed this. I've been talking about this forever. We were so overextended in the weekly. I called for a back test of $39.63 approximately. I don't know if it's going to get way down there. I really don't. But that would be the standard operating procedure. Trying to break out of a long-standing cup and handle, you're not just going to go right through. I expect these things to happen. My target was 55. And then I expected a harsh reality at 39. Well, I think it should be actually, I think I did put it at 39.63. But if you put it farther here, realistically, I guess it's 39.68. So I was expecting this back test big time. And you want this. You know how much this is going to clear out? We're going to become so oversold that everybody's going to run. This happens. This will happen in a week, 2 weeks, and it's phenomenal when it happens. As long as you buy at the right times. But remember, always harvest profits. But not with your bullion. Bullion is a direct link to the value of your native currency. So you keep your physical bullion. I buy mining stocks so that I can take profit. And now I've got $18,000 for whatever I decide. Gold, silver, not gold, silver. Probably oil. Oil. You're going to see a big oil. But anyhow, we got to get back to crypto. But I'm not going to shy away from telling you what to do with mining stocks and gold and silver. Hoard gold and silver bullion. Hoard it. I have never sold and will never sell a single ounce, gram, or whatever. That's being passed down to the next generation. They might have to go on a fucking field trip to find where it's all at, but that's okay. They'll find it. At least I hope they do. Otherwise, it's going back into God's beautiful land. But XRP right now in the crypto market. So on this beautiful Monday morning, and I haven't even got through the comments yet. Mark Korf, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, along with Rejuvenated Drift and Robert Latham, and that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. The Cannabis Podcast and Craig Carlson, also Joseph Euler. Thanks for being in town for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Beautiful work, the Cannabis Podcast, on your channel. Making that ever, in the beginning, it feels ever so, I don't know, it's a very dedicated push in the beginning and forever. If you do it every day or every couple days, or you have the same routine, same delivery, and timing, you'll do good. I have faith. You give good information. He's on YouTube. Go follow him. He does holistic healing, basically, through our beautiful Mother Earth and the cannabis plant. Mrs. Stott and Mr. Stott, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XP Meteor, along with Big Dog and Michael. City Guy, welcome in, along with Ben Graham, Jack, D King as well. Love it. Shane, good morning, along with Poppy Lou. Thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Let's see. AWL, welcome in from Vegas, home of the rig. G-Wise, welcome in. Bear Trap, he says. Could be a bear trap because I could see it going to 272. That's what I was talking about this morning, but I hope it's not a bear trap right now. I hope it's more of a bull trap, how it was bouncing up to 265. And then it's not even necessarily either, I guess. But I wanted to come and fill that gap very badly. Because then it's going to open the door. We're getting closer to these rate cuts. And we're getting closer. We don't want to go in on a rally into the 31st. We want to go in on a drop. We want to go in under fire. Like, there's a reason why gold and silver is going down right now. What do you think's going to happen when they cut rates again and officially start announcing the end of quantitative tightening? Gold and silver, right now, all it did was like, you know, we got to take some profits here. Hey, gold, you've gone up from $1,600. You haven't taken a damn bit of profit. You better drop or you better clear off, man. You got to fill the gas tank back up. Give some people time to buy. If they see it under 4 grand, people are rushing. I guarantee it. They're going to rush. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can't even express how calm I am right now. And then this oil, I keep talking about it. Oil. And you've got Murphy's, and you've got a lot of these companies. I've showed you North, and we'll get into it later because it's such a, oh my God, where it's at right now. It reminds me we're like 2 months early still, or 3 months, maybe 4. But it's like, it reminds me of where gold and silver, not particularly the metals, but the commodities, the actual mining stocks, or the exploration, if you want to call it, with the oil, or however you want to call it. But it reminds me of that with the mining stocks, how they were getting to those lows. They were so close by November. We're almost in November now, believe it or not. This year, last year, we were so close. And they had that final last phase where it dropped down like 10%. I feel like that's what we're going to do here. Oh, God, I'm so excited about oil. It's the black gold. It's the black freaking gold. Laurel says, but what about the Ripple Swell conference? Wouldn't new announcements cause a nah? I don't put any. No, I'm not saying that at you, Laurel. I promise. I love you to death. But every time Ripple Swell, no, that. If you get any bit of news out of there, it's going down. Normally, whenever we have a conference, it usually doesn't go up. I don't think I would put any stock on that. Maybe a sentiment move, but I would think they would use that as a get people to buy in just to drop them because of the Swell conference. I always look at those kind of things as, hey, this could be an opportunity to get everybody to think it's going to go up. Use market psychology against the retail trader, and then it's just a normal operating procedure style meeting, and then it just drops. I don't know. But my mind is working different with all of this. I know what we have coming up. And if they do it in the way I want them to do it, it's going to be beautiful. If they do it in the other way, it's going to suck, because then we're going to go up just to come down, then go up. And people are going to get caught in the zigzag. I'd rather it go up to 266, like it did, come down, and I've been saying 265 because that's the true resistance. But on my chart, it says 266, which I was glad to see it actually hit there. But I think we need to clear this liquidity gap. But I can see them going to 272 first, which is the freaking problem. Just like last week with Bitcoin, we went up to that next layer real quick, and then just to fall off. It would be such in our best interest to go down, but I get this gut feeling like, hey, you know, you drew this up here for a reason. Who was that? 275. Oh, fuck. It's actually at 277. Just out of curiosity, let's say the 20-day is the worst that happens here, and this is actually something building. Oh, I could see that too, 285. Where's the 2-hour setup? Let's say it comes to the 200-day. See, that could work. You wouldn't be able to use this. But this could work. Come down here and tap this, and then overextend to 251. We could do this. It could do this. It could give us the grace, even if it wants to go up. It could. They probably won't. Then it'd be too easy to read. Imagine it did this, then bounced up to the 270-ish area. I mean, if I do something like this and then come back like this, but you get it. Then you can be like, hey, look at that. This is promising. Then you measure the base of the thing, and then you go the, and then it's like it's just off to the races. You start to have your technical brain go to work, and you're like, well, if it does that, now we got to measure the stupid line, and then we got to move it up, and then look at the potential there. Then it can actually round up. Hey, that actually makes a little bit of sense up there at 281-ish, because that's the drop point if it wanted to go that route. But we got a lot of work to do to make something like that happen. Lots of work. The other thing is we go up to 272 first just to bounce back around. So. Farm Girl, they need to take a big hit. And that's not even a big hit. It needs to, though. This is exactly what needs to happen. We were so overbought. Things don't run straight up. Not even gold and silver. Everything. I've been 35.91 is the uptrend that I believe is probably likely for gold. If it continues down this path, that's what it needs to do to sustain the next uptrend. Or it's going to go more parabolic, but we won't know that until it hits the next line in the sand and holds the support area. The weekly's so far down. We were so overbought that we need this. I believe we need to drop another $500 if so. And then it's still at $3,500. Just like gold or silver, I think we should come down maybe to 39.40-ish. So that's why I acted the way I did. I wanted to take some of my, not a significant amount, but I did what I needed to do to expand now into oil as well. So this is my first rodeo. It's the best that I've ever done in the minors by virtue of understanding the positioning better in the charting, but I'm not a fool. I don't know how far we're actually going to go. But at some point, this is going to go ridiculously crazy back in the other way. And when it goes the other way, remember, we're in discovery when it comes back up for silver the next time. We're clearing out all this loose space. And for gold, we're working in discovery. So who the freak knows where we're going to go? But we're going to find ourselves rather oversold very quickly in some of these time frames. It's going to be dramatically oversold. I almost feel like they're bailing out. Somebody's getting bailed out here, who's way underweight here, who's probably taking shorts out in the futures. Look at that. It's almost as low as it can possibly go. But it'll stay along this line. If it's going to keep dropping out, it's going to do it quick. I expect very quick. Very quick. Like I'm talking maybe a 10% drop today if it does it. And gold maybe an 8% drop. I'm talking like $400, $300 again. Something more crazy. Like, hey, gold's at 36, 3,700 all of a sudden by mid-afternoon. That's what I want to see. Oh, my God, there's blood in the streets. 15% drop across the board in the miners. Remember when I said 2 weeks ago we need a 20 to 30% drop, and this is where everybody's going to be like, oh, look at these piles of shit. And they're going to be way down because they're buying the tops. It's the same with crypto. It's the same with every sector. But the only difference with the metals is they're built against the U.S. dollar. So, like I said before, if you think that U.S. inflation is going to get better all of a sudden, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. But this is like, to me, my heart stopped racing so fast because when it was going so parabolic, it's like if we continue at this pace, this is actually the exhaustion rally if it goes up to like 60 and 70 without a correction. So I'm relieved because I want this cycle to go to 90 something for silver. So to have that happen, you got to have short-term pain. So, and I want gold to hit like, what was my prediction this cycle? I don't remember. It's on the chart. Let's face it, though. This is some good movement here. This makes for some interesting stuff. Silver's 93.61. I believe will be the target out of this cup and handle when it finally completes. And gold. I don't even have it on there. Why is that? What happened to it? Did the sunny days take it out? How did it get taken out? Well, that's for a different day. I know I had the initial target up here at 4,115 from way back from before we ever broke out, but I thought we kept the higher target. No, that's fine. We'll just wait for the consolidation and build it in real time. But look at the monthly in gold. Like, come on. Forget about it. You're telling me it won't come to at least 3,500? I think it has to. I don't just think it will. I think we have to have this unbelievable come collapse. Like, get everybody to think that our heads just went through a brick wall and we're done. And then you can be like, oh my God, I was thinking about buying it at 50 for silver. Now it's at 39. I better get on the fucking move. I don't know if it'll go that far, but that's where I'm predicting. Not predicting, but that's where I assume. I don't like to make predictions. I just like to make good observations. Scott Lowry, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens along with Jesse. With Farmgale. And yes, like Farmgale says, hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it. Jesse, you are in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP. Jesse in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. I greatly appreciate that. Hello to you, my friend. G-Wise, good morning. True, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Autos Crypto Lose along with Sola Jeffy. True, it's good to see you in here. You're good at charting, so seeing these play between these areas is a fantastic thing. Ken, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. No. Really, we haven't even started the XRP analysis. I'm sorry, I keep bouncing around. But I assure you we're going to get deeper into this, I promise. That's my bad. I know that was 17 minutes ago, and I'm still off track. But we did not. The Gatman, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months, or 3+ years. I apologize, with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. Thank you so much. GY, welcome in. So Ripple helped pay for the White House ballroom. I know. I'm telling you. Nobody believes that November is actually going to be... Well, some people are starting to, but... Timothy, welcome in. Laurel, good morning. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in... Laurel was talking to G-Wise. I was trying not to get into that conversation. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. Our grand rising is soon, ladies and gentlemen. It's already started, in fact. Matt Grimes, Ali, welcome in. William Hayes, Shane, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. B. Southtown, good morning. Eddie Lance, John Bugathorpe, good morning. Let's see. Anna says, are you going to sell all your XRP at your $5-6 target? To be determined. To be determined. If it's the end of a cycle and I can tell we're going into a crypto winter, all my crypto will be sold. There is no exception. But if that doesn't seem like the end of the cycle, no. But short answer, yes. Long answer, probably not. Cannabis Podcast, Mt. Gox delayed their repayment until October 26th. Of course they did. You better believe it. Shane, yes, we have to bring the price back down. Something's going to have to be the catalyst to the drop here. And I believe you're on the money too, Shane, with what BlackRock did. Deposited a shit ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum to Coinbase. Do what you want with that exactly. Frankie Fresh, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6. Holy shit, that's a big donation right there. I did not realize that. Holy shit. Hold on, guys. I gotta pick my dick off the floor. I apologize for being grotesque, but my grotesques are rolling around down there now. Due to Dimmy. Hold on, let me get to you in due time. I don't want to skip over anybody, but I really appreciate the generosity. Frankie Fresh, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. And I hope your hand is doing a little bit better this morning with a little more movement, regaining a little more strength. And I hope Janine is doing well this morning too. Give her my love. That's Frankie Fresh's significant other. Dan Marginal and Big Dog, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. And Timmy Phillips, thank you so much for not only being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor, but holy smokes, over a year with the I Told You So Bad. I'm sorry, I was looking at, I've seen the wrong one. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad, and a $100 donation to start the week. I'll tell you what, if that doesn't make you feel a certain level appreciated, along with all of these beautiful souls in Tom's Army surrounded around you, every single person in my screen around you is in Tom's Army. That is, I should take a picture of that. That's a sight for soul. That's a beautiful thing, honestly. But Dan, thank you so much. And he said, Timmy, thank you, Timmy, so much for that. He said, hey, Tom, good morning. Quick question. I'm wanting to expand my position in IOTA. What exchange in the US allows us to purchase this token going straight to a cold wallet after purchasing? Okay, let me see in real time if it's still working. I can 100% tell you this information, but I have to see in real time if this would work, if I can withdraw my IOTA. So, because I'm not going to give you information unless it's up to the minute, up to the date. Because sometimes, you know, things don't work the same as they did before, because I don't believe, even though I can buy it on spot here, I don't believe we can send it off of here. I don't want to say that for sure unless it's the truth. So I always look to see in real time if they updated their policy. Yeah. As of right now, on WeX I can buy spot, but I can't send it off. Every single exchange that we've tried in the past. Hold on, let me see something. Because like I said, there's always things that change. But as of right now, that's a very tough question. And it might be... Let me check this real quick. And this would kind of be... Yeah, see, and the problem is that, you know, like on WeX, we can't send it off of there. And I know on Blowfin they have it, and technically we can use it, but, you know, you have to, it comes with a different risk because we're in the USA. I mean, I can use it. You would be able to use it. I do use it if I have to, but I can go on it and check to see if you can buy and withdraw right now. Because sometimes we got to use the options we can. And their pricing's good, so that's the reason why. Let me log into it. I haven't been on here in a minute. So I just always like to make sure that the information's up to date. Because you never know if they block something and then all of a sudden you can't do what you could do before. So let me go into wallet, withdraw. Let's type in IOTA. Yeah, see, this is going to be the problem, though. If you want to send it, they make you send it off with BNB Smart Chain instead of the IOTA network on. I knew there was something there on Blowfin, so I wouldn't even advise that. Because that gets a little... Unless you can send it to your wallet with BNB. But that's a very difficult question. There is not many that... And like on IOTA, you can buy IOTA as well on TOOBIT, but it's through the futures market, so you'd have to buy it in 1X. I've been begging them to add it. But as of right now, I think it's still just in the futures. Yeah, it's just in the futures still. So you wouldn't be able to withdraw it. So yeah, I wish I could answer that question better for you, but you're really caught between a rock and a hard place. Can somebody help with that question? I know one of the... But then when I tried to use like the other ones, they didn't actually have IOTA for my region. The only one that I know in spot that I can actually use that is actually worth a damn, that doesn't have crazy fees, is WeX. But you can't withdraw, so that doesn't do you any good. Yeah, that sucks. I wish I could help you more with that. Hold on, let me go through the comments and see if anybody has any insight here. Timothy Phillips says just paying it forward. Tom has been beyond solid for many years now. It's the least I can. Oh, I appreciate that, Timmy. Wow. That's awesome. I'm not even really sure what to say about that. That's just extremely generous. Extremely generous. Let me get on my phone. I can tell you. I'll just put the oil ones that I look at that I'm more interested. They're all on my phone, so I try not to cloud it up on here until I'm ready. But I can definitely pull these up. But we need to get into XRP too. But I like all the questions. I try to keep everything flowing, and yeah, I probably should have expanded on it while I was talking about it. So I like Murphy's is a big one. I want to get all the call letters so that I don't have to. So I like Murphy's. That's one of the ones I really like. But there's I need to get there's another exploration. Well, it's not. I don't even know if you can say it is an exploration, but it's North American. Fuck, what's his name? Let me go through the comments. So, Crypto Cooter, thanks for being in town over 6+ months with the XP Predictor, and also a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Really appreciate you, my friend. A lot.
Absolutely, we do. We're bringing in Mike Kennedy, who's going to be the new CEO of Indian, who's a critical part of this deal for us. Mike is a titan of the motorcycle industry, in our opinion.
Let's see.
We are humble enough to understand that we are not experts in the motorcycle space, and so
Tango, welcome in, and thanks for being in town zone for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you. Why can't I? I mean, I know a few of them. I'm trying to find the one in particular. I mean, I do want to add Murphy's, so might as well just add that. You always have to look at Chevron, but those aren't the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Fuck, what's the name of it? I had it up here before. Where's Chevron at in the weekly? It's so fucking expensive. I wouldn't probably buy. I don't like to buy this one. It doesn't pay as high of a dividend like some of the, but these are starting to bounce a little bit now. I wish they would have hung out a little more in the weekly. I'm not putting that one because that's not the one that I would probably buy. Murphy's is back up to 29. I still feel like they have a little more time to come down. They're still filling out the pattern like they were before. Almost makes more. Oh, I remember now. Because if you take it out of the weekly, it actually is like this. You can do it like this.
It makes me feel very confident that nothing's missing and everything's accurate.
But yeah, this is one that I'm very, and this one pays one of the better dividends across the board too. But look at that big setup. That's a massive setup getting ready. Eventually we're going to have a big breakout in oil. I think we're oversold right now, so I mean overbought in the 4-hourly, but the daily, I mean, if we keep moving up, I'm hoping this doesn't just go up to like 40. Could be coming up again for a weekly rejection at 32. But I would love to get this. The next time this comes to the uptrend, and this is what I've been waiting for fucking 8 months, if everybody remembers. Every time I talk about it. I wanted it to come down here. Oh, I need the price, not, I'll put a mental note to myself. You better fucking buy when it comes down into this range if it does. But that's where I'm looking to buy. But that's Murphy's. I'll put it together later. I don't got time to keep going through all this, only because yeah, BitTrue doesn't let us anymore, which sucks. All the gaps. No. Jonathan. Those are the fair value gaps. I'm talking about the CME gap. That's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So that's the futures market. So on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the futures market closes. And fortunately, XRP just came out with the futures chart not too long ago. Bitcoin's had one. And on Friday, it closed at just over $2.51 and some change. So now we have a gap that's left there from the Friday close to the Monday morning open, or the Sunday night open. So that's the gap I'm talking about. Not fair value gap here. Bitcoin has a ton of gaps left, even in the fair value. Down at 92 is a very strong one that stands in my mind. But for XRP, we cleared everything that's above $1, 90 cents on Binance. So yeah, XRP did, but it has every weekend, we always leave a gap, either we gap up or gap down. A lot of people use it as a trading, kind of like a trading hack. And what they forget is oftentimes it doesn't fill right away. Like last week took until Thursday for Bitcoin to fill the weekend gap down. Because we went to 114, but it had a gap at 106.8. And then it went to 106.1 and filled the gap. Now we have a gap left, I believe, on Bitcoin. Here, I'll show you exactly where it's at actually on the chart. So when the weekly, well, it's not, it's at 6 p.m. So you have to go back to Friday. Remember, this chart's not open every day, though. Bitcoin dominance. So here's the Friday chart. So now you break it down. You go into like the 2 hourly because you want to look at around that time period. So let's get back to Friday. Right around here, we're about 108,800. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. No, that's not right. What am I doing? That's way on the. That's the other. I'm gonna say it's way higher than that. Yeah, this. I was gonna say that's way. That's the other way. That's way too low. So let's get to this Friday. So Friday. Where's this at? Such a pain in the ass though when you do it and after it's in real time. Somewhere, I think it was like 111,200-ish or something. Does anybody remember the exact number it closed at? I mean, I could go look to make it. Just didn't really want to waste all that time. I should remember. I don't know why I can't remember. Let me see. I'll remember. You know how I'll remember? Because I put all the information out on all my platforms. Oops, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch! Facebook is so... I love it because I can reach people and it's almost at 8,000 followers now that I actually started doing stuff on it. 261. What is the Bitcoin? Of course, I shared a lot of XRP stuff, so that must be in the Telegram, whatever. Somebody probably shared it in my audience already. It's like 111,000 and some change. Let's see. 110,740. Thank you, Ledger. Tom, I'm not sure if you remember me. A while back, you ordered a physical XRP token that I asked you to autograph. Ah, that is you. Timmy, I've mentioned you. I didn't know I needed the email back. I mentioned you so many times in these lives that after a while I just stopped saying it because for some reason I don't have the email. I still have the token. It's in my drawer. I honestly have the token that's been sitting in my drawer. It's so funny. How I could go grab it to show you, but it's just sitting there. Do you remember my email by chance, Timmy? See, this is another good thing. This is a good thing. Oh, no, you're fine, Timmy. I actually felt bad because I couldn't send it out. And I told you, I'm like, one day he's going to end up, well, I have T-Speaker. That's not my email, but I used to call myself T-Speaker222, XRP Future, and so on and so forth. But strutregali@gmail.com. Whoops, my bad. Israel got perma-banned from Facebook for predicting the future. Yeah, I don't get recommended on Facebook, so it's amazing that I almost 8,000 followers. They said that I broke the rules, even though they won't tell me what rules they are. I'm dead serious. They won't tell me what rules they are. So, there's no recourse. I'm just not recommendable, it says. Which I don't know how we get 10,000 views a day on Facebook with them not even recommend. Imagine if they recommended me. Oh, my God. They did one time for like a 2-week period, and I was getting 20, 30, 40,000 views a day. When that happened. Some people are trying to help with what it's trying to help with the IOTA. But XRP, I know it's taking 48 minutes, but we've got the gap. That's an easy one. I mean, we started drawing this to see that we could do something like that, or we can take the up route. I want to see something like this. personally, because then we could back test the breakout of this inverse head and shoulders at the lower level and then back test it at the gap. Obviously, it'd have to come to about here on an overzealous run. But here's an easier way of looking at this. We came up to the resistance. We had a 5-wave corrective wave. It fell out of the 5 waves. Had an extreme dropout. Hit the bottom of the broadening wedge. Even if you measure it from farther back, it just had an overextended pull down. And now we've got the gap at 251. We also have a looming back test that could happen if it comes back down at 245. But if we bounce off of this first, my fear is we'll come up and fill some of this, maybe even all the way up to here. But 272 would be next in order. And then we would leave this for the future. Now, that could be a later move. And maybe that comes after the bull season, because these gaps can be filled after a long bull push. And it's a tricky one because the daily is so overbought, though. That's what gives me cause for concern. Stochastic in the daily is so overbought that it makes me feel like we're going to get a final clearing here. Whether it's 251 further, maybe we go up and it just clears out higher above. Who knows? But it would make more sense for us to come through and clear this out and then go on a parabolic spike here. Oh, and if you guys are in the Telegram, make sure you watch the weekly episode, as Define does a lot of work here. He put out the weekly magazine and so on and so forth. The Big House Reader's Digest. Don't waste your money. Crypto remedies that truly work. So just go through this and read. It's episode 13. He does a phenomenal job. He put the update of just the copy trade that's open. That'll be open. It's my long-term holdings that I sold to buy back with the community after this drop. So, and then Alec Tony was spotlighted. So read through this. And then he said, may your week be filled with good thoughts, kind people, and happy moments. But I encourage you to read through this. And then we want to obviously expand, and we want to talk about some of the success stories. So he wants to add that as part of it. It doesn't have to be about me. It can be about somebody in the community, anything like that. So Define just finished up his hunting, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor and a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram and all the work you do. Says, hey, Tom and everyone, just finished hunting this morning, going to start from the beginning. Hit that like and consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army for the best technical analysis on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Appreciate that. So yeah, just pay attention. Pay very close attention to just everything that goes on. There's so much stuff in there. It's a beautiful little community in there. So we'll see if we do go to 272, we'd have to break 266. And we'll see if we trend higher, if we come down to the gap first on the CME gap. Just send it. Welcoming along with Mike B. Thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Yeah, I watch ZBCN. It's not on my watch list here. It's on my phone watch list. I tried to keep, and you'll see, I try to keep it more defined. Not that I want to delete Quant, but it'll come back on later. Actually, I want to keep XPR on for one reason. And then ZBCN, I haven't looked at it today. I'm not going to do like a crazy deep. Which chart was it that I was using? One of the charts is very in-depth. I don't even think that's the right chart. That's not even that was the initial one we started drawing on, but I think there's one that's more up to date that we started over once it started breaking out. Let's see. Oh, it might be this one. You can actually redo this like this. But I don't know. I kind of prefer to do it like this because that's the real evidence. Yeah, this is on the back test side right now. So it's got to get over this to have a breakup. Otherwise, it'll have a... The good news is it had this big breakdown already, which is nice, at 2.7. Yeah, if we get over this area, everything's at a resistance point here, so I'm not surprised to see that. Massively oversold in the weekly. Moving down at the moment. Eventually that's going to change. If it's trying to do some kind of inverse pattern here, it'll come back down to like 367 area. And then you would kind of see maybe it's setting up this inverse area. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen this set up when it's significantly oversold. Has this last pullback. Ends up being a left shoulder head. This pulls down into a right shoulder. It's harder to see in the weekly, but you'll see it in the other ones. Just kind of got to know what the candle formation looks like in the weekly. So you basically go boom, boom. This would play back around. And then all of a sudden you have a very strategically placed inverse head and shoulders after a nice low, higher low. And then maybe it's a higher low up there on support. And then you got something cooking, right? You'd be cooking. But we don't know how it plays out. We can't possibly know. Because it could just break up and it's going to cause itself to go into extreme shock if it does that. Like, I'm trying to not put us in shock to where we have to have these 30% drops after. Right now, we already had a huge drop. And if we do this properly as we progress up, we're going to have a beautiful thing going on. Ali, it's possible. Never say never. Never say never. The interesting thing is that Binance actually cleared that area, which is, to me, it's astounding that it came that far. Before I leave, though, I want to talk about Linea real quick, and then I got to go. And we'll more than likely do this again tonight. Obviously, it all depends on my son. Daily time frame is trying to put in a reversal as we speak. I know it came a little bit lower, but it's trying to back test the breakout as we speak. So daily time frame is actually pushed up and had a bullish crossover, and it's extremely oversold. It's still only at under 2.5 in the daily. It's not even long enough of an existence in the weekly to even measure. So there's no point of even looking at that for the stochastic. It just came out on the 1st, obviously, and maybe not obviously to some. November 10th, we unlocked like 2.08 billion Linea tokens. So it's in its best interest to run up to that 2.2 area in the short term. So I would expect that probably before that big dump. But, 4 hourly still correcting. Could be an inverse correction. Inverse left shoulder, inverse head, inverse right shoulder, pop up to a big top. 2 hourly cleared out very quickly and is really oversold here. 1 hourly, very oversold. So, there's a potential that we are setting up what we're talking about, and it's going to just pop out of here very volatilely. If you're riding this with me, there's probably very little chance we're going to hold it through that token drop, because a scenario that can happen, especially if we do get, like somebody talked about wave 5, it would be convenient for the market, even XRP maybe, to run to 330 in this scenario and clear out all the topside liquidity, come all the way up here, or maybe who knows how much higher it can go, but have a nice push up here in the interim, and then the token drop gets put out, and then we just continue to fill out this pattern, and then ends up having a substantial drop like this, and then we continue to build on it. That can happen, especially with the token appreciation. This can happen. So we'll have to just police, or we'll have to monitor and protect our investment. But if we get up to 2.2, I'll probably sell it. If we fill out this pattern and it gets stopped at around 2, I would probably sell it. It just depends how it looks when it gets up there. But knowing the token release, I'm playing the move up to not have to play the move down, to be able to buy the big drop with us having that much more money in our pocket. And then if it breaks out, I'll simply do what you're supposed to. I'll back test the 2.2 area and rebuy it. But I think that's what I'm going to do. And it's already instilled in my brain. So if you're in that position, it doesn't matter to me what it does right now. I couldn't give a rat's ass what it does. If it's up, if it's down, if it goes on vacation for a few weeks, I don't give a rat's ass until it does what I just said. Or it breaks down at a 1.4 and in real time, it's going to be around 1.42 now. Then I would just sell it and buy it at the lower level. But it seems more plausible that it comes up and fills out this still. I want to do it in real time. So in real time, this would be about maybe 141 now. Notice in the last 45, we've pushed up very volatilely, which is nice to see. It's good to see it doing it while I'm talking too, because it was just under it while I was talking, under this line, and I said it's trying to prove that it can hold that. Anyhow, this push, what we're looking for at minimum, 2093. So if you're in that copy trade, and it might not pan out. And yeah, I want this to be a longer term hold, but I'm gonna position us how we're supposed to with equity drops. 2.08 billion. I ain't gonna be in there when they try to figure out that bullshit volatility. I'll be in there with a lot of capital waiting on the sidelines in case it doesn't come through. And then if for what by some miracle we break above 225, I'll just wait for the back test. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. So I don't know, what are we, 1.5 something? 1.5, maybe 1.56, 7. I'll say it's a little higher. That represents about a 33% move. That would be over $1,000 in profit if this move happens, based on the size of my trade. So, just see what happens. I believe it's November 10th. 2.08 billion tokens for Lineo will be dropped. And yes, there will always be a dedicated time slot for at least, and today it's not as long. It'll only be about 10 minutes or so. But I'm going to be having more and more dedicated time slots to this. More and more dedicated time slots, and I will continue to preface it. XDC, significantly undervalued. And look, here's that push for XRP that I wish wasn't going to happen, but I feel like just might, up to 272, if not higher. I think XLM is in a fucking phenomenal spot. Built that inverse head and shoulders and must come up here still. It's got to come up here still. So it's got room here. There's an opportunity, massively oversold. 3 hourly, massively oversold. Daily, oh, it's that one significantly overbought. But I think we could be working on this little push up here. It's got to come up to the 200-day. It lines up perfectly with that resistance. And it almost looks like that's what it's trying to do. So there's opportunity here. Don't get caught and kicked in the nuts, but there is an opportunity possibly for this little push up, as we talked about at the start, for XRP, and it's measured out. It could come all the way up to here. Like, there is a chance here that we have a nice volatile breakout to the upside to start the week. These smaller time frames have room. There is no doubt about that. Linea's at 151, and if we get this extra movement here, we back tested right now. So this needs to come lower. This will be a volatile spike. It'll be at 2055 if this ends up playing through from here. This would be phenomenal. Oh, it's not only possible, I think it will happen with XDC. I don't know when in the future it's going to hit $1, but it will. I'm convinced, but it's got a long ways to go. My personal setup has been set up for a very long time on XDC. And this is what I see projecting out. The problem is look how long this pattern could technically build until. That's a long time. I don't think it'll go that long. But in the future, I see it going up to 36 cents. So even from here, I mean, you're talking about, and that's just the short term. That's just trying to build off of what we know. Imagine if it consolidates from 36 to 30 and then breaks out from there. I mean, we don't know what kind of expansion we could be talking about, because technically, let's just play a little game here. Since it's only us friends in here, we're all friends here now, so we can actually play around here for a minute and not make everybody think unrealistically. What if the reality would be, hey, maybe we have a 50% and then you follow it up by that continuation up, and then you end up, then you consolidate and do what you want. So I mean, I could see a very weird setup start to happen if we start to play out. And 30 cents is something I identified just in the consolidation, that there's going to be some kind of gapping that's going to happen, and that 30-cent range could be a significant point for some to sell out and maybe take profit at a higher level. But look at the weekly. I always advise my audience to buy when the weekly stochastic is oversold in a big way. It's at 265 right now, 2.65. That's getting into the all-time level lows for XDC and its history for low in the weekly stochastic. The lowest I've ever seen it, let's see, we got way down here back in 24, right before the breakout, right about 0. I mean, literally 0.06, 0.06. So maybe we have one final push down. It does push down farther. But these are the accumulation times. I wish, 5.2 better than 6.2, obviously, but we are significantly oversold. This is going to be one that people bash their heads through the wall in the next cycle when we get to it, because they're going to say, "Oh my God, I remember when it was sitting at 5, 6, 7, 8 for so long, and then do shit." And then when it goes to where it's going, we're going to be like, "Oh fuck." But I've been investing in it. I'm over 125,000 tokens, so I've been doing my due diligence. I don't know how many more I'm going to buy. It depends what it gives me. And there is a bailout point, obviously, if it falls below that 5. Well, it's not obvious, but if it fell below the 5.2, then I would just be like, all right, well, I'm just going to do what I always do. I'm going to sell and then buy it at 2.9. So, but I think personally it's probably got a better chance of breaking out than breaking down. But we'll see. We will see. But I'm going to call it a day. I got to go. 100 likes on the nose. I greatly appreciate that. Wow. Thank you all so much. But yeah, I gotta go. I've been signaled. Everything that I missed in this, I will really welcome it, and I will try to look at DHB in the next one. I promise. I overextended, and I gotta help Julie with something I forgot. And when you get the signal, you get the signal.